The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is the fight between Danny Jacobs and Julio Cesar Chavez. Uh, the fight ended with Julio Cesar Chavez just retiring in his corner. The fans rioted. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. looked disappointed. It was a bad night of boxing for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Sr., and Mexican fans who actually showed up to support Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. G, what was your thoughts on that?
Shout out to Daniel Jacobs for this victory. I felt like, I'm gonna be real. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a crybaby. You know, you came in like looked like damn near like a monster in comparison to Daniel Jacobs. Came in looking like a cruiserweight. You know, you didn't make weight. You refuse to do the drug test. I'm hoping it's because of like coke and not because of like any drug enhancements or anything like that.
Man, it's
PEDs.
weed, dude. It's weed. Trust me, it's weed.
Are you sure?
Yes.
No, that nose
Yes.
is leaking kind of hard from that punch. Could have been the booger sugar. You know what I'm saying? So, but all of that, I felt like you had major advantages. And all I heard at the end was excuses, excuses, excuses. He was talking about how, Daniel Jacobs was elbowing me. He was headbutting me. And I'm just like, yo, what are you talking about, bro? Like, that wasn't that major. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that big of a factor. And not to mention, that's so common. Like, maybe not the elbows, but headbutts are so common in elite level boxing that it was like, you're just coming up with excuses on why you quit. You know? And then, like, clearly we could see your nose is broken. But you're talking about your hands is broke, and you know what I mean? And I'm just like, bro, just pick an excuse and rock with it. And I don't blame the fans, to be honest with you, for being irate like that. It's like they literally looked at him as like, you know, their Mexican star. And he literally just gave up. You know, so these people are saving up money, purchasing these tickets to show you love and respect and pay homage to you and your father's legacy, and you just quit like that. I'm not saying I would throw a beer in the ring, but I can understand why people were throwing beers and throwing shoes in the ring and stuff like that because you disappointed your peoples. So it was still a great fight though. Well, it was great while it lasted. You know what I mean? And you know, I know I predicted a TKO in the 7th round, or was it the 11th?
I don't be listening to your predictions.
But I predicted a TKO anyway, so I'm feeling good.
All right, True.
I think everybody knew that Daniel Jacobs was going to win. I think we all picked Daniel Jacobs to win. Chavez, when the fight started, he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. I'm going to go at it a different way. It's easy to, sit on the outside and we can say this and that, and I could be the boxing analyst and I can cut somebody down and do all that. But I'm not going to do that today. This kid, you know what I'm saying, 2 years off. We already know, I'm not going to say everything that everybody else says. The Mexican fans are passionate fans. You know what I'm saying? They don't care if you lose a fight. They don't care if you get knocked out in a fight. They care that you fought and that you give your all, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw, that they feel like you gave your all. And that's just what Chavez didn't do. He seemed to just give up. Like I said before, I never questioned the heart of this kid. I always questioned his passion. You know what I'm saying? And that came into play at this. With the weight, I wasn't too concerned with the weight thing. The 5 pounds, wasn't concerned with that because, listen, he'd been sitting down for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? The missing the drug test, we all know about him, being fined. Excuse me, I said $1 million the last time. It was actually $900,000 that he was fined because of the marijuana. So we always knew his problems with marijuana. This right here, I was disappointed, but I'm not gonna go in and bash on him. I'm just gonna say very disappointed. Shout out to his dad, one of the greats, one of the legends. My top five of legendary fighters and great fighters. He's in my top five. I was sad and disappointed, even though I picked Daniel Jacobs to win. I just wanted this kid to go out here and, you know, show the world that, you know what I'm saying, that he can, that he has, you know.
I don't know.
I was gonna say something, but I was machismo. He had That's what I was gonna say. But you know, he disappointed me. I feel bad for his dad. I feel bad for all his fans. I'm one of his fans. G, you said you know you wouldn't have had thrown a beer bottle, but I would have. You know what I'm saying? That's how disappointing.
Would it have been a full beer bottle? Is the question.
Probably not. You know? I'm not gonna waste it. They probably want $20 a beer.
That's what I'm saying. Sure would have been like $12.
But yeah, it was sad and disappointing, and I didn't want to hear the excuses. Y'all know me, man. Like I don't like to hear the excuses. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have no excuses for them. You know what I'm saying? But it was just sad.
Yeah. So the way I'm going to come at this is, what more do you want, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.? From the start, you refused to take a drug test. They moved the venue. You show up and you're overweight. They give you a fine. They let you continue to fight. You get into the fight and you show up over the cruiserweight limit. You're clearly bigger than Danny Jacobs. So, yeah, he uses elbows a little bit. Well, yeah, you outweigh him by like 30 pounds, bro. Like, what do you want him to do? Get knocked out?
What
you want him to stand there?
supposed to do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Normally, when he pushes a guy off, the guy flies off. But because you weigh 30 pounds more than him, you don't fly off. So he got to give you more of a nudge. My man, you had so many advantages going into that ring over Danny Jacobs. For one, everyone knows that Chavez Jr. has power. And you looked very powerful early. Chavez Jr. looked so powerful early, I was worried for Danny. But this is why I said Danny was intelligent. He understood. So he just started covering up. He started picking the shots off. When he believed Chavez Jr. was tired, he would hit him with a body shot, right? And then he would open up with his work. And I think what happened was Danny Jacobs started to break Chavez Jr. down. And if you saw, Danny started to become more active, more accurate, while avoiding Chavez's big punches. And I'm going to tell you what I believe happened. Chavez Jr., you were going to get knocked out. You know you were going to get knocked out. You did not want to come out for that next round. So you quit. And I think everyone in the crowd knew that as well. I think the fans knew it. Chavez Sr. knew it. Danny Jacobs knew it. Everyone knew it. And that's why people were mad with you, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. If people believe that your nose was really broken, if people believe your hand, and that hand excuse ain't really going to work. Because I've seen fighters with one hand go out there and go the distance, lose, or even pull off a victory. So you can go out there with a broken hand and try. I've seen fighters with shoulder injuries still go out there. So you probably wouldn't even get a pass on that. But he was elbowing you and headbutting you.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, you were a cruiserweight in that ring. You might have even been a heavyweight in that ring. And that's your excuse? Nobody wants to hear that. I mean, respectfully, the biggest loser in all this is Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. because he showed up to that fight.
Oh, I got a question.
Yeah.
So, who had the bigger excuse? Or the better excuse? Or the worse excuse?
You said
Weeds
that for the podcast.
or Julio Cesar Chavez? Oh, yeah, you know, we should say that for the podcast. You're right.
We'll answer that on the podcast. But I'll say this. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. deserved better.
He does.
If you knew you weren't going to go all out, if you knew you weren't going to take this fight seriously, if you knew you were going to pull something like that, why have him ringside to witness that?
No, facts.
To witness Mexican fans throwing stuff in the ring because something his son did. And you could just see the disappointment on his face.
That hurt. That hurt more than anything. When they flashed the camera over there and you seen his face, like when I said, my words, not to mean to cut you off, but you said the same thing too. We knew that you was gonna get knocked out, right? But we would have took that, and everybody would still would have loved you. Everybody in that crowd, when you got up after that count, they would have went crazy because you have been away for 2 years and you had came in and you didn't fight no slouch. You came in and you fought Daniel Jacobs. Mm-hmm. They would have loved you for it. They would have loved you for it, and then everybody would have said we wanted to see you again. Now, it's crazy.
Now they want to hit you in the head with a beer bottle. But nah, it's the truth, man. Truthfully, it would have all changed if Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. just left it all in the ring. Mm-hmm. Whatever that would have been. If that would have been him being knocked out cold, if that would have been him being stopped, if that would have been him losing a one-sided decision, people could have lived with that. But once again, it just looks like a guy who doesn't give it his all, who doesn't really care, who does things on his terms. It was shades of Victor Ortiz when he said, I don't deserve to get hit like that. I don't deserve to take punches like that. You knocked out all these people, but as soon as you got in a tough fight with Marcos Medina, I don't deserve to get hit like that. You had every advantage go your way until you were getting a few elbows and taking a few shots, and then I don't deserve this, so I'm gonna quit. Nobody respects that, bro.
Please like and subscribe. Check us out on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's the Boxing Bros. Also, you can check our podcast out on all major streaming services. It's the Boxing Bros.